Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into a topic that's a little spicy, a little controversial, and definitely thought-provoking. We're talking about movies, classic films even, that for one reason or another have become the cinematic equivalent of a hot potato. Films that society, in its ever-evolving sensibilities, has quietly, or not so quietly, decided we're just not allowed to watch anymore. So grab your popcorn, maybe a comfy blanket, because we're about to explore 8 movies that have been caught in the crosshairs of changing times. Number 8, The Crying Game, released in 1992. Starting off our list, we have The Crying Game. This critically acclaimed thriller, set against the backdrop of the Troubles in Northern Ireland, is famous for its major plot twist involving the character Dill. While the film was groundbreaking for its portrayal of gender identity and sexuality at the time, its central twist relies on a reveal about a character's gender that some now view as potentially problematic. Some interpretations suggest it plays into tropes that associate trans identity with deception or shock value. While many still celebrate its daring narrative and performances, contemporary discussions around trans representation mean that its most famous moment is now viewed through a much more critical lens, prompting a re-evaluation of its impact. Number 7. Soul Man, released in 1986. This film is a prime example of a concept that would absolutely not fly today. Soul Man stars C. Thomas Howell as a wealthy white law student who pretends to be black to receive a scholarship. The film attempts to explore racial prejudice by putting the protagonist in the shoes of a black man facing discrimination. However, its execution is widely seen as misguided and offensive. The use of blackface, even if the character is supposedly passing, and the film's simplistic and often stereotypical portrayal of race has made it incredibly controversial. It's a film that tried to make a point about racism, but ended up becoming a textbook example of what not to do. Number 6. Revenge of the Nerds, released in 1984. From a different era entirely, we have the quintessential 80s college comedy, Revenge of the Nerds. This film follows a group of outcast nerds who fight back against the bullying jocks and popular kids. While it was a huge hit and seen as an underdog story, many elements of the film have aged incredibly poorly. It features scenes of sexism, homophobia, and non-consensual acts that are absolutely unacceptable by today's standards. What was once played for laughs now comes across as deeply uncomfortable and even disturbing. It's a stark reminder of how much cultural norms around consent and respect have changed, rendering a once-beloved comedy problematic. Number 5. Powder, released in 1995. Powder tells the story of an albino boy with extraordinary intelligence and telepathic abilities who is ostracized by society. The film aims for a message of acceptance and understanding. However, the film's legacy has been severely overshadowed by the real-life actions of its director and writer, Victor Salva, who was convicted of child molestation. This revelation, which came to light after the film's release, has made it almost impossible for many to view the movie without associating it with the horrific crimes of its creator. It's a sad case where the art itself becomes tainted by the artist, making it a film many actively choose to avoid. Number 4. The Basketball Diaries, released in 1995. This one stars a young Leonardo DiCaprio in a gritty, unflinching portrayal of drug addiction. The Basketball Diaries is based on Jim Carroll's autobiographical novel about his descent into heroin addiction as a promising high school basketball player and writer in New York City. The film is incredibly raw and depicts drug use, violence, and sexual themes. While praised for DiCaprio's performance, its explicit content and the harrowing nature of its subject matter have always made it a difficult watch. In an era where discussions around mental health, addiction, and the impact of media on young people are more prevalent, this film's intense depictions might be considered too much for many audiences, especially without careful context or discussion. Number 3. Bonfire of the Vanities, released in 1990. Oh, Tom Hanks, what went wrong here? Bonfire of the Vanities, directed by Brian De Palma, was supposed to be a massive hit, an adaptation of Tom Wolfe's best-selling novel. It tells the story of a Wall Street bond trader whose life unravels after a car accident in the Bronx. The film was criticized for its casting choices, particularly changing characters' racial identities from the book, and its overall tone. It tried to satirize race, class, and greed in New York City, but many felt it missed the mark, coming off as heavy-handed or even perpetuating stereotypes rather than critiquing them. It's a prime example of a film that was probably allowed at the time, but now serves as a cautionary tale of how not to handle sensitive social commentary. Number 2. Junior, released in 1994. Next up, we have a comedy starring Arnold Schwarzenegger, Danny DeVito, and Emma Thompson, directed by Ivan Reitman. Junior is about a male scientist who undergoes a pregnancy experiment and carries a baby to term. Now, on the surface, it sounds like a classic 90s high-concept comedy. But looking back, the film's premise, while played for laughs, touches on gender identity, bodily autonomy, and the complexities of pregnancy in ways that are definitely viewed differently today. Some might find its comedic approach to such a profound biological and social experience to be insensitive or even reductive, especially with how discussions around these topics have evolved. Number 1. Song of the South, released in 1946. And finally, at number 1, a Disney film. And that alone tells you something. Song of the South is perhaps the most famous or infamous example of a movie that's been locked away in the vault. Based on the Uncle Remus stories, it depicts life on a plantation in the post-Civil War South. While it features beloved animated segments and the iconic song Zip-a-dee-doo-dah, its portrayal of race, particularly its romanticized view of plantation life and its use of racial stereotypes, has made it deeply problematic for modern audiences. Disney has never released it on home video in the United States, and it's unlikely they ever will. It's a fascinating look at how cultural products from one era can become utterly unwatchable in another. And there you have it, 8 films that have, for various reasons, found themselves on the not allowed list for many modern viewers. It's not about erasing these films from history, but about understanding how our perspectives and societal values evolve, and how that impacts the art we consume. It sparked important conversations about context, intent, and impact. What do you think about these movies? Are there any others you'd add to the list? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, subscribe to Kindlight for more content, and ring that notification bell so you don't miss our next deep dive. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.